Hello everyone, today I am in Israel and we're going to start out at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. I think that's how you pronounce it. And we are visiting one of the tombs right here. Apparently I forgot to record horizontally, so sorry for that. But this is one of the two tombs that we will be visiting today where they believe that this is where Jesus was buried. Now, I have to say there were so many tour groups. Apparently this is peak season other than Easter, so there's lots of tour groups here today and throughout the trip. So I did not get in line for this, neither did my husband. We opted out of that. It wrapped around this whole thing and it was just to see this little room that may or may not be the room where Jesus was buried. So we were like, gonna skip it and gonna tour the rest of the place and just skip this part. So as you can see, it wraps around and yeah, that's a no for me. Now this is the stone where Jesus was allegedly stripped before being put on the cross. So I have to say there were so many people, it was really hard to get a video or even a picture. You could tell those people were praying and touching it for hours. Then you go upstairs into this room. Again, there's another tour group in there. They're all in line to kneel down in front of this rock that may or may not be the mountain rock where the cross was placed. I again opted out of getting in line for that. Seeing it was enough. Then we walked around. We are in the old city of Jerusalem, if I didn't say that already. And we were just walking around. There was markets. It was nice and chilly outside. I didn't expect for it to be so cold. The best baklava I've ever had and probably will ever have.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it's just where people...
And there were so many cats. This was like heaven to me. I love animals. I love cats. And there were so many of them here. Now we are in the Garden Tomb. This is the second place where they believe Jesus was buried, and we'll get to that in a moment. This is Skull Rock. I didn't get a good video of it. You can't really tell, but there is like a skull on the end of that rock. That's a wine press. And here we have arrived at the tomb. I think this could be the tomb. I think the first one is a little far off, the one that was in the church. I think this one is a little bit more realistic. But then you see all these people, another huge tour group. So I did get in line for this one. And this is the inside. And you can only stay there for a couple of minutes because of the amount of people in there. This is where they believe Jesus was laid down to rest before he rose again. And it was really hard to capture a good video because there were people behind me. And there's a sign there that says you can't take photos or videos, but you can. Everyone was doing it and there's no regulation. These are old bathhouses that were excavated.
Yeah.
The original.
Now we are on our way to the Mount of Olives. And here it is. This was one of the first surreal moments for me here in Israel. Just imagining Jesus praying in there. Now, next you're going to see me struggling to rip off a branch because everyone was making these bouquets of these olive branches. And yes, I took it home and yes, I'm going to put it up. And before anybody gets mad, do you see this bush right here? They purposefully cut down these branches for the tourists because they know the tourists like to take branches home with them.
The second coming of Christ is going to be here.
Oh.
And they put these cemeteries here so that he can't cross. So the saying goes, right?
Okay, so this is the Hinnom Valley of Hinnom.
See that's a...
Now we are at the Israel Museum in Jerusalem. And this is a huge museum with so many artifacts, so much information. And this is where they have the scrolls. I got yelled at for trying to take a video of it because if you keep going down this hallway, you'll see the scrolls. So just remember that. Can't take videos, can't take pictures. And this is a replica of what the old city used to look like. It's amazing, the attention to detail. I was like in awe. I wanted to like stare at this all day. So many citrus trees. Between here, Bethlehem, and Jerusalem, there were a lot of citrus trees. Oh, so this is, I think, mosaic, and it's original mosaic.
In line, the nativity.
So in this church, we have chaos. You guys, I almost got punched in the face. Just kidding, I'm exaggerating. But so we had a tour guide. The tour guide cut us in front of this huge line. There was a massive, like the biggest line ever. You would have to wait there for like 2 hours just to see this little star where they believe the nativity happened. And people were kneeling down in front of it, kissing it. I couldn't get a good video because they were rushing me. And here's a picture though. My husband captured a picture, and it looks like there's a hole and you can look down in it. There's nothing there. I was trying to look inside of it. It's just like the dot where they think it happened, right? So people were kissing it, did not do that. I was like, it's nasty. Anyways, there was a group of Romanians behind me that like literally wanted to attack me for cutting them in line. But I didn't do it on purpose, like the tour guide did it. Anyways, that's another story for another day. So then we continued walking around. This is the church. I think it's called the Church of the Basilica of the Nativity, I believe it's called. I'm going to get my information screwed on some of this because it was so much in one day. So this is the Shepherd's Cave. This is where, gosh, I could have sworn I got a video inside of it, but I guess I didn't. But it's just a cave, nothing special. It just looks like rock. But it was a very pretty area, very green. And we did have a private driver that drove us from Bethlehem to Jerusalem and back. Then we had a very expensive chicken shawarma. We didn't realize how expensive the food would be here. And this is like a prayer wall that the Jewish people would go and pray to. So there's a women's sector and there's a men's sector. What I just showed you right there is the men's. I got yelled at because I went down the men's instead of the women's. I had no idea they were separated. Obviously, it was my first time there. Then we walked around at night and it was pretty cold. There's my name, but with an O instead of an A. Then we went to the mall. This is right next to the old city. And it was very, very fancy. Very fancy indeed. And we had pizza. I know, you're in Israel. Why are you having pizza? Look, we were very exhausted and it was a last minute thing. We just wanted to eat something. So exhausted, but I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.